Hey guys, hot day out here in August in Maryland. I'm out in the field, and this is the fourth video that we're going to do here, and this is about how I cool this horse out. So what I like to do, one thing is the challenging work in this horse's canter sometimes can get him just, I don't know if I want to say worried, or just a little tight in his pelvis. And so it's important for me to leave the day having worked that tightness out. And especially like today, we challenged the canter, we challenged the changes. You know, it's hot out here. We're working on a little uneven ground because we're out in the grass. You know, all those things might have an effect. You got bugs bothering you? I think the fly spray is sweated off. Is all those things that, you know, I want to, like I said with my other horse, I really want to end my ride with the same as or more relaxation than when the horse came out. So obviously if the horse is really hot when they came out, he would be drastically more relaxed by the end of the ride. If the horse came out fairly relaxed, I don't want to challenge them and have them then leave without that same relaxation back. And so this is the time that I will stretch this horse, is at the end of the ride, being careful that I'm not letting him throw around beforehand, and being careful that I am not allowing him to just push off behind and keep the back too flat and kind of leave his butt behind him. Scott Hassler has not seen me this year with this horse because he had some layup time and I was getting him back fit. But Scott has always been a good eyes on the ground for me with this horse. And one of the things that he warned me about with him at a very young age was that too much forward with him, and I don't mean impulsion, I don't mean activity, but too much just sending him forward is just going to have him develop more of that push. And that comes easy to him. So that's not what we need to develop. What we need to develop is a little bit of this relaxation through the lumbar so he feels very confident about coming in and out of collection and being able to move his pelvis in a collected way and not just in an extended way. And he likes to move it in an extended way. So I'm always conscious about that when I ride him. And so even in the cool down, I'm going to let him walk on a free rein like I did. Obviously, if it's really windy and he's spooky out here, I'm going to just keep myself safe. But I'm not, we've kind of done enough canter work, so I'm just going to do a little bit of rising trot. And I am going to let him stretch out. And I will even, let's get up into the rising trot. I'll even show you really nice exercise. Can we focus? He's like, wait a minute. My quarter's up. I'm done. You got to put another quarter in, or you got to take me back. Exercise that I developed. Sit, rise, rise, sit, 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 sit, rise, rise. And you can vary that up. It doesn't have to be every two. You can go sit, 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 rise, 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 sit, 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 rise, 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 sit, 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 rise, 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 sit, sit, rise, rise, rise. Go the other direction. Sit, sit, rise, yeah. change my dial. So, and this really has a way of helping the horse relax his back in the trot. There's something about this dynamic of changing, and if you do it every 2, you notice you're changing your post to a different leg. If you do it every 3, you're not. You're like, going up. And it just has this way of sort of relaxing them in the back. You can use this in the beginning for horses that have a little trouble relaxing the back. The other thing that I do with him, if I really feel like he's tight in the back, is I will go 2-point. And I'll just let him jog around. And I don't really ask him to go really forward. I just want a nice, relaxed stretch around, loosen up. I don't know, I think that's to flies. I don't think that's to me. It's the bad thing. Once the sweat wears everything off. And it's just an easy, stretchy trot. It's not even stretchy. It's just an easy trot. It's like moving the body around and letting it relax. It would be nice. I'm going to go back to posting and see if I can't get him to stretch a little bit more. Yeah, longer rein, opening rein encourages them to stretch without taking away the contact. Good. And he doesn't really need to stretch down more than that. Oh, yeah. Stay safe. You never know when they're gonna spook. There's crows in the bushes. Crows in the bushes. Good. Yeah, and he just kind of stretches down. And that's really my cool out with him. And then, just like all the others, I will walk the fields. So, really short little video there. I want to say a little bit about the crows in the bushes or whatever that spooked them. My thing is if I overreact myself, I have the potential to make it worse. I'm going to acknowledge it, and then I'm going to say, hey, refocus. It might be that I half-halt with my seat, or I put my leg on, or I leg yield, or I move the haunches around, or I send them a little forward, or I just do something to reopen the lines of communication to say, hey, focus back on me. It doesn't matter what's going on off in the bushes. You live on this property. You pretty much see all the wildlife. Nobody lives over there, so no person's jumping out. And I don't want to make a big deal out of it, but I do want to refocus them and say, hey, you're 9. Let's work. Let's get to work. It's hot out here. Let's get this over with. So just kind of the way that that spook is how I handle it. I will say the other thing, and this will probably a really good video to make, is there is a spot in the arena that he likes to spook at, because it does, if any place is going to change, it's going to be that place. And it does change sort of week to week. Things get moved around. And there's this very specific way that I handle that, because I wrote an article on my blog about, I don't know, is it 9 things to do if your horse is spooky. It's just different ways to look at spookiness depending on, is your horse spooking because they're in pain? Is your horse spooking because they're nervous? Is your horse spooking because they're fresh? Is the horse spooking because they're just not paying attention to you and they're just like, oh, look what's out there. There's a whole different reasons that horses spook. And one of the things that I see a lot of people do is their horse spooks, so they take more of a hold and they put it together more and they sort of add pressure to a little pressure cooker that is starting to have steam rise out of it. And adding pressure to that just makes the steam come out faster and harder. So you really need to de-escalate that pressure. And there's ways to do that and keep yourself safe. So that'll be a future video. But if in the meantime, go look up on my blog, because I do have a really good article on there about spooking and how to handle it, and things to watch out for, and things that can be really helpful for you if you have a horse that's spooky. Okay, that's it for today. Thanks, guys. See you next time.